Happy Saturday, everyone. Hopefully, everybody is having a great day so far. Good morning, Kelsey. Good morning, Joy. Today is definitely not the prettiest day that we've ever seen, but it's not a bad day by any stretch either. We're seeing a lot of fog for Valentine, but then uptown looks a little bit better. So, got to look at the bright side of things. Monroe and Concord there in Union and Cabarrus County doesn't look quite as foggy as elsewhere. So, we really do have a center portion of the area that's seeing the densest fog out there right now. We do have a dense fog advisory in effect for 11 o'clock for it looks like Avery County, Burke, Caldwell County, right now for Alexander County, Iredell County, Lincoln County, Catawba County, and Cleveland County. And that's just because is the center portion of where we're seeing the densest fog right now. I mentioned this in the early morning newscast, but you typically need three things for the perfect fog setup: a clear sky, which we don't actually have, wet ground, which we do have because of the rain yesterday, and lighter winds, which we do have compared to yesterday. And so those lighter winds overnight, and of course, the wet ground has allowed for the fog to develop and become more widespread this morning. So the dense fog advisory was not issued last night. It was actually issued this morning as the fog continued to get a little bit denser so far today. So notice the mountains, you kind of have a hole where there's nothing really that's that bad. Even the higher elevations, Beach Mountain, Sugar Mountain, that oftentimes we're looking to see, oh, is the fog getting worse? Things like that really hasn't looked that bad so far today. Notice Statesville still pretty dense right now. Morganton, Shelby the same. Whereas a lot of the region, Charlotte, Concord, even Rock Hill has looked a little bit better than even maybe it did an hour or so ago. So as we continue to kind of see those winds mixing, things will gradually start to improve. So this is the current visibility as of about 10:30 this morning. So we will start to see this get a teeny bit better as the winds mix. But I do want to point out that even as the fog and the densest fog starts to lift, we will still see clouds linger around. I did want to show you this shot though. Of course, no fog out there right now, but still some dense clouds. But it is Beach Mountain, December 2nd. They are officially open. Skiers, snowboarders having a great time. I was there a few days ago. It was a fun time, although the mountain, of course, the resort was not open, still had a great time. And those people look like they were having a ball and a half. So hopefully they are staying safe out there and having a ton of fun. They will deal with low clouds and even some areas of light rain, patchy drizzle this morning. And then eventually we will be seeing more rain coming in for the forecast later on today. So there's a lot going on. Of course, Christmastown USA has kicked off in McAdenville. We're hosting the ACC Championship here in Charlotte today. So we will be tracking very closely the light to moderate rain in the forecast by the latter half of today. So we're going to be talking a lot about the afternoon forecast here coming up. I do want to point out that it is not going to be a washout by any stretch. We will have areas of dry periods, but there also will be a lot of areas where we will see some drying out. So kickoff for Louisville taking on Florida State is right around 8 o'clock. Temperature hovering right near the 60-degree mark. Winds coming in out of the south at about 5 to 10. Rain chances sitting at about 50 to 60%. So if folks are tailgating, I would have personally a poncho. I just don't like getting drenched in rain. If there were a quick downpour when I'm trying to tailgate and have a good time, if you're not worried about it, I wouldn't worry about it either. And again, we are going to be tracking this kind of off and on throughout the rest of the evening hours. Now, as we look at Futurecast, I want folks to remember that this is not kind of gospel, but it shows a good trend here of the fact that we will see some of that scattered rain by the evening out, by the afternoon and evening hours, and then eventually things do start to pick up even more so as we enter the overnight time frame. This is the chance I think that we'll have for a few pockets of even some more moderate rain at times, and even a few rumbles of thunder. This might even last into us being back on the air tomorrow for Wake Up Charlotte weekend starting at 6 a.m., but it'll be moving out really quickly. So I don't think a lot of this activity will be lingering until the latter half of Sunday. And in fact, as the warm front lifts northward across the region, that's actually one of the reasons why we actually start off right around midnight in the upper 50s and we warm throughout the day. So whereas a normal day, we have our low right around 7 a.m., our high right around 3 p.m., tomorrow we'll actually hit our low right around midnight. So right around midnight, 1 o'clock, our temperature will be around 58. And then we'll likely hit our high of 71 around about 1, 2 o'clock. And then eventually temperatures will take a tumble once we have that cooler and drier air mix in. So a little bit different just in the timing, but we are still going to get at least a little bit cooler before that temperature reaches 71. And then we stay cloudy for most of Sunday and then eventually mostly cloudy as we head into Monday. So, kind of a quick summary of the weekend forecast. This morning, we were mostly cloudy. Our low was 49. This afternoon, we're hovering right around 62. So far, the warmest temperature we've hit is around 55. So, we're not warming much throughout the day because of the clouds. Areas of fog, areas of cloud cover, scattered rain by the afternoon. And then tomorrow morning, we'll track that chance of rain early. And then as that front is moving through, winds will likely pick up as we become breezy. And even though neither day is necessarily sunny, I do still think tomorrow is probably the pick of the weekend just because of lesser rain coverage. And even though it's breezy, it will be a little bit warmer. If it was breezy and cold, it probably wouldn't be my pick of the weekend. But I guess you got to take what you can get right when you have a cloudy weekend. I personally like the sunshine, even this time of year, because the sun angle's a little bit lower. It's still nice. And as long as you got your vitamin C, right, you're good to go. So today, of course, we started off with patchy fog, still under the dense fog advisory for a few areas. And then we'll track the off and on showers, especially later in the day. Tomorrow morning, light rain, areas of drizzle, and then we do turn breezy. Eventually, we do turn mostly cloudy overnight into Monday, but that should be enough to cool things off to drop into about the mid 40s. And then eventually, sunshine does return Monday afternoon. We drop to 64, which is still technically warm with an average, but I do think we'll really start to feel the effect of that cooler and drier air moving in by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it does look like we creep back into the lower 60s by Friday, but it's that middle of the week time period that will be our coolest. But the only night right now that I'm looking that we could be near the freezing mark is going to be Thursday morning. Now, of course, that's a little bit subject to change, but regardless, will be a little bit drier by the middle of the week. And this, of course, is our first full week of December, as today is December 2nd, which also means it's the second day of meteorological winter. I didn't have a lot of time to touch on that today, but I'll likely talk a little bit more about it tomorrow as we'll be back on Wake Up Charlotte weekend starting at 6 o'clock. So everybody stay safe out there from the fog. Make sure, of course, if you have outdoor plans today, you have a way to stay dry. And if you are heading out to Christmastown, USA, and McAdenville, make sure you're getting out there early and kind of getting your spot and not trying to get out on the roads. Or if you aren't trying to get out, but you have to take 84 South or 85, 84, 85 southbound, make sure you're getting out early because remember, 85 southbound or near McAdenville gets really, really, really backed up around that time of day. I remember trying to get down to Atlanta to see family, just not even realizing. But that's how a lot of people try to get out to McAdenville, and things get crazy. I was watching the newscast last night when I got back from Beach Mountain, and Brad was talking about the traffic, and it was really, really backed up. So just stay safe. Give yourself those few extra minutes as fog is still pretty dense out there right now. And we will see you tomorrow on Wake Up Charlotte weekend starting at 6 a.m. And I hope you'll join us for another rendition of the show and have a wonderful day. And if your teams are playing in the ACC championship, I hope you enjoy the game. I have no opinion on who wins, as you can probably imagine, but I know my siblings will personally be very happy, and my best friend too, if Florida State gets a big W. But have a great rest of the day, everybody, and I hope all of your teams win. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk about college or professional football and the NFL. Have a great day, guys.